All right. Good evening, everyone. TF4 near Busia4. Yama Yehina Yaho Akwaba to Enyumre, your financial program. No, Yada Nyamiase for the opportunity, sir. Yetumi assign Eba Munchen Biem na Yade Yesikasem Jumadie no Edeba. In fact, the beginning of the year, dear, anytime Bia no, Abusia Bia Sade. So we need to review our finances, see where we are. The last year, no, Nyoma, of course. So some of the Nyoma, yeah, and possibly, no, what changes can we make as we go through 2023, no? Yanka say obia bibia yeah no is a mistake. No. We learn from some of the things we do. So as we go forward, no, it's a mistake, then we'll correct that. Inchi enyumre yabada muhina sese monya daje na moni ebe yes adwumadie we no. Mefasa kwanya we so na mama your financial doctors and so akwaba penny Isaac and Penny Prince, Yabemamo Akwaba to a numeric program, Nunti, Yabemamo the opportunity, no, not at least, no, more ama yatie for so Akwaba, Penny Isaac, if you want to go, then na Penny Prince, and so at their trust, na Yadia Jumadia, no, at their trust.
All right. See the Yamina better than I say, Wama New Year and Sabato. I'm saying, you're February one chair. Na said you cannot they be I think they were a very good opportunity to learn something new or maybe to reinforce what you know already. Said a is customly to me at to once again a free consultation and the mommy who said I very important to that fund seriously. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Penny Isaac. Yes, Penny Prince.
For Bicho Biao, things I said here, some of the same thing from last year. I hope sir, much more take information on how much me apply my life for because which me it's me born papa and see you know some of kind as I said as a kind of free information into when you see the any you know the if that can be hopefully no this year we'll bring more information it's not born more see as always no see, I did when a good so much asking many questions because more questions more asking a boy it may come more topics monty. Yeah, I know. Thank you.
All right, Penny Prince, yada was say. Yet here for so baby I watch every beer no say YouTube or Facebook and as a modern gun and as a one TV no yada muhina se enyumre for the time or monya na money ebeye your financial program way no as impeni for adikan aka no on say sikasam ade a very vital wo abusua bia mo mfade asetna yetimo no without sika no there is nothing yebetumi aye na in as much as say you take it time na you follow through with your health sometimes who say no baby enkoye ewo me nipadua anymore I feel pain here maybe headache maybe knee injury I mean those kind of things now yeah you feel those type of pains now you call your doctors who now your doctors access here now on my diagnostics no more try and say yes I had na ya way na cause into a drone in the no on the same note so no you seek some idea very important sir every now and then bia no ebusua bia na sir individuals a won ware na sir won kwa na wote na sir mo aware so abusua no together no ese munyamre na mo evaluate mo seek some if we said the stress bebre a work from her yehu yare bebre no sometimes no ya nefri ye sikasem se sikasem nko ye it brings a lot of stress ewo ebusua no so I just say what that crowd want to mean now because you are thinking about the next step. How do I feed my family? What do I do? What is the next step? Near day 90 no what we want to do is what can we do as families? What can we do as individuals? Best setting up the foundation as we go throughout the year. My baby said the question is you may treat something we call like the financial checkup. Into the financial checkup, just in the layman term, for I mean, we can and obi abetumi jump in beside the question and say, yenye financial checkup. What does that mean to your TF4, and what can we do to help build that financial checkup?
Yeah. I think this topic there, especially is very fitting for the beginning of the year, because how you start the year have a significant impact on how you finish the year, right? If you brought the same financial decision making that you had in 2022 and it wasn't effective, and you brought the same thing to 2023, you're gonna have the same exact results, right? And let's not make finance complicated. Let's on the surface, in the very simplest terms, it's really about checks and balances, right? At the end of the day, you have a certain amount of income that you earn, whether you live by yourself or whether you have a spouse, or whether you have children and what have you, right? And you also have an idea of what your expenses are on a monthly basis. There are really two major ways to really make sure that you're always in the cash flow positive, right? It's either you're going to make more income or you're going to spend less, right? Ideally, you can do both, right? Which can further speed up your wealth building process. But no matter what you do when it comes to your money, you have to learn to be disciplined, right? It's very easy to spend money if you're not aware of where the money is going, or if you don't have a financial game plan for your money. The money is going to go where it wants to go, right? That's why many people hate the topic of budgeting, because to them, it's a restrictive process where they feel like they have to follow a guideline and they can't do much or spend how they want to spend, right? The point of budgeting is not to restrict you, it's actually to give you freedom, right? Because if you learn how to allocate your money and properly spend your money, you're going to see where, right? You're going to see where in your financial game plan where you can free up money to be able to spend on the things that you actually want to spend your money on, right? Saving money obviously is a very, very important thing, right? But as you mentioned earlier, people are losing sleep and are frustrated, are depressed because of their financial situation, right? And money can have that effect if you don't have control of money, right? Because it's either you're going to control money or money is going to control you. And the way you control money is through a budgeting system, right? Because you're telling your money where you want the money to go. But if there's no budget system in your life, your money is going to go where it wants to go. That's why every month there is more month left at the end of the money, right? Because the goal is to have more money left at the end of the month. But the opposite, you have more month left at the end of the money, because why? You overspent the money, right? It is known historically that Americans spend 33 cents, on the dollar, based on compared to the average person, right? So now, if you are making $1 and you're spending $1.33, how can you ever stay in the positive, right? So it's really having to find a way to be able to control how you spend your money. Like I said, having a budget, I think, is a crucial part in that process. So without having to go on and on and on, I want to kind of just touch on that right there.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Ewa, for touching on the foundation is pretty much having like a budget from the beginning of the year. Pretty much maybe 2022 you had one, great. But 2022, do you keep the same thing, or do you review it and make amendment to and we'll look at some of these and the topics in your Dr. Wabo Boss, we'll find time throughout the year and discuss each of them into detail. But now we are setting like the foundation. It's a beginning of the year. What do you need to do? One of the things, as Dr. Watt mentioned, is you look at your budget and make sure. Penny Isaac, what's your take on your current financial checkup?
Okay, all right. I'm say Dr. Uwa cannot do na midway can home say so normally say can budget na say na or can be say people think of it say restrictive. Na and the budget ya there and go for like a term the layman will be afraid of. Because I say even in governance, in managing the economy, no. So I can say, hey, finance minister already budget. Now, so and I make woman now say can't budget and I say I think I can who be. It's a question. So I can say as an individual, so your budget I say, hey, now why who be there? And the budget is still very relevant and it's still very important, but to make it lighter, no, I would use the term financial plan, which is basically the same as the budget, but in terms of able to make a financial plan, which is the same as the budget, but I quite say, me more light said a so being Tiasia and yes, the finance minister be general can simple and basic. Na kakra me de kan de Dr. Walker and say also in every aspect of our lives, I'm going to be talking about two things that are relevant. No is going to occur. And I said you see it happening in your life. One, to construct something, and I said to build something, it is very difficult. It takes a lot of work. Men say be a school, position they pass on sorry. To be able to pass your exam, you need to put in a lot of work. The Christian would say, which is very true. However, your effort is still required. And the Usidai, and Yamre, and yes, or Shasia, and found this car to do our won't mean sit in 1 or 2 days. Unless oh hi, 1,000, no Mugu, no Musi, and also and then to me possible. Just to build and also to construct something is very difficult. It requires so much work. On the other hand, to destroy something is very easy. Some brem washe bibi, some say no, and also my juragu kim nani na say. So that I 2 years as so I can say juragu within 3 days you be not joining na egu. So was save $1 million. So was all risk in 3 days is so easy. But who save it could have taken 10 years to save that amount of money.
Or more. In the areas in every aspect of one's life, to construct or to build is much more difficult than to destroy. I'm just picking back on the Dr. Waka, say yes, our plan now. Bosom and Nebelsono. Now, Bose, Bosom and Yansokana Bose Yesikanasa. Not just a deficit already, not just I heard also Kobo Busiana or say, could you credit card? Nabuse Edinson Sembibreba. Number 2, or can discipline once, and I believe so throughout last year, you can't discipline once, and I'm happy so I can was a bill. If you have to be required discipline. Say, the OE be I think that medicam a couple of examples. BBA and as a very successful, it requires discipline. Say, school, those times are your course secondary school, Ghana this year. Say, we also transition them at the edge. When you compare to be honest, all nice soon. Discipline, discipline, in Chroma college, any still and do what bread pass, and that's still also called transition discipline. So, in every aspect of life, say, and as about religion, those who practice religion, maybe are taking Christianity. Say Christo the person so to me Benyamia, discipline. I also to me Sam Red at the bonfire.
how much no sorry now ko bompai woni kumpa aba na also sorry woni ahaba na also kan Bible because you know say that it's a discipline. It is a yes, discipline now. You ever say who by scanning a bit much in a short time.
Yeah.
Into me be see
All right. Yeah, financial doctors Yadamwase for laying the foundation for us. Like yes, no and say individual being, especially this part of the world, your way, it's recommended at least once a year, we'll call hospital for like an annual physicals. Now, doctors to me show they do the blood work, share who say, okay, yarebi or maybe what do we need to do? How do we mitigate adebia bane no? On the same na yapasa ya apply to your sick asem. Say yasha fi we no. It is very important to say we take the time to review and examine your sick asem. And how do we do that? We look at the previous year, Nyoma Ekoso. Na yehu say what changes do we need to make for this year? Yeah, woman. Nti the question ebi ho a ye bebisa ye nyinaa ye ho to help ye for ne say, is it really important to say we do financial reviews with ye sick asem? Because someone said one of the things that I have found out, Nanasa, based on conversation with a lot of Africans and especially like the Ghanaian community, and they said, anytime we have that plastic, we are hoping so anytime we swipe it, it'll be approved. We don't even care, say, and I say we don't check, say, you will scour bank and I say you need it. We are just dependent on that plastic and hoping that it will work. But the helps us to examine ourselves near beside who say before cry may acquire that purchase. I need to make sure says economy will be in timpani for more I mean just yeah financial checkup or review now. Why is it important for us to do that? A two-part question. Why is it important? And if we don't do it now, what are the consequences a bit to me about or some of the issues a bit to me about if we don't do that?
Yeah, financial checkup, it's what we have been discussing, extensively over the course of time, right? And like you mentioned very correctly, that just like we do once or twice a year physical examination to check up on our health to make sure that everything is functioning properly, the same thing we do for our vehicles, our cars, right? It's the same thing you need to do for your finances, because at the end of the day, if you're not watching your money, or if you don't have a system in how you monitor your money, right, it's a very high possibility that over the course of year that you are losing money somehow, some way, whether to old subscriptions that you no longer subscribe to, that you no longer use but you're still paying for, or unnecessary charges in your bank account that because you don't check your bank statements, the bank is charging you particular fees that you don't know about, or maybe somebody is hacked into your account and it's taking money over the course of a period of time and you have no idea because you don't check your account statements to kind of know what's going on, right? At the end of the day, all these things are siphoning the money away from you, right? And if you don't take the time to sit down and actually analyze your finances, see, okay, this is how much I've been able to make this year, 2022, 2023. Now, at the end of the year, of the money that I made and how much came into my hand, how much money is still left, right? And oftentimes, if you actually sit down and you calculate how much money you've made for the past 5 or so years, right? And you figure and you look at how much money you have in your bank account, it's amazing the gap and the shock, right? Because you're like, man, if I'm making, let's just say 50K per year, in a matter of 6 years. That's $300K, right? In my bank account, how much is there, right? And I think a lot of times when you have those conversations with yourself and you bring yourself to reality, it makes you very mindful, and you begin to kind of make different decisions, right? Because what is the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result, right? All of us, no matter what space you're in, whether you're an expert or not, it doesn't matter. You need to sit down and examine your finances, right? Once a year, to me, is not even sufficient. You want to do it once a quarter or twice a year, because things change constantly. Finance, new information comes along, right? New things comes along, right? You accrue new debt. You different things happen throughout the course of the year. So if you wait to the end of the year to do one checkup on your finances, so much things would have accrued that it's hard to go back and figure out where the mistakes were made, right? But if you check more consistently over the course of time, you're able to catch things much more readily compared to waiting to the end of the year and do that one checkup. Even for myself, right? I check on my finances, right? At least once a month, I'll sit back and I look at all my statements. I'll look at all my accounts, and I'll examine, what has transpired, right? Now, if me as an advisor is sitting down there and doing that and checking, making sure everything is functioning properly, should the average person do the same thing, right? You may not need to do once a month, right? Your finances may not be as complicated as certain people. You may have a very basic, very simple, but nonetheless, the key is to check as consistently as possible, because you don't want anything major slipping through the crack. Even something small slipping through the crack, right, can turn out to be something big, right? My dad always tell me, little drops of water makes a mighty ocean. Right? Little drops of money coming from your account over the course of years, you can imagine how much that money can be, right? So the key thing is really I always see the key thing here, right? It's not how much money you really make. At the end of the day, is how much money you keep from what you make. Right? You can have somebody making a whole bunch of money, but if they don't save nothing, they don't wisely spend. At the end of the day, when you're comparing to somebody who makes significantly less than them, but that person is very disciplined and he saves, the one that saves, they're going to have more money automatically than the other one, even though the other one makes much more money, right? So it's not about how much money you make, it's how disciplined you are and how much of that money you get to keep.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Ua, for the insight. Like Dr. Ua, rightly said, we all that responses say, yebebo modern say, yebe review your finances on a. I mean, different. We are not saying say a year friend is saying, Dr. Ua, once a quarter, also the same thing. Maybe would be able to me once a year and grab benefit too. If you are able to do it once a month, great, do it. But at the end of it, just sharing I have this credit card, which what is it? I think so the last time I used it, maybe like a year and something ago. I just got a notification, sir. There is a charge coming through, and may I approve the charge, May shade and I said no. Credit me who baby a card and cry that. So why am I making that? And right away, I was able to mitigate your financial loss, and apparently it was like $1,600 charge. I tried to your financial come through. But Sanyadi must be in place with my credit card companies. Say if it exceeds certain amount, they need to notify me. And can the charge you go through? I think I maybe try to find it. It is very important for us to review and set certain things in place. To your friends you lose some of your sick and sometimes you can get it back, but the hassle of going through to file for all this fraud and dispute in crime time consuming. Yes, Penny Isaac, what's your take? financial checkup. Why is it necessary? Then a boy and say, young yansua, dear Susan, so near the baby.
All right. So the term checkup and I'm the yadika teaching mother.
Right.
Very, very important. If we are saying, no, say, Bibia no say checkup and mama and Timin Koi. Dear Uye Biano. I'm found dear, what Cusco do Biano. If you are as professionals on for will be continuing education. What would degree na why certification in Navy, but you need to be refreshing on what, because says the brain gets stale. Sometimes what you do at work and it gets redundant. And this applies to all career fields. And very important. Say the piano over yes, check up on now they are refreshing your mind. Now, one key thing as we are talking, the person yeah, you know, course on say. Apart from say you bit me a review of your finances for the past year, no, actually how no more call you make changes be to make sure things get better in the coming year. No, there is one thing I also to me pay attention to, and it's in economics, more term be or as a profit maximization. In other words, says as a profit, I mean to be at say watch usika unya nasi be our income now what to expenses every month. In layman's terms, they have kind of a profit. Na economic for say so to me any more profit. Profit is a back as pa ejina so bit me a control cost.
Correct.
And the economic force profit maximization results mostly from cost minimization and not revenue or income maximization. What does that mean? Well, income, or very little control over it. Assuming that we are business, before you can generate some income, only control over acquiring customers to generate income. Or very little, you can do all the marketing, but say what I say, may invest 10 million. I may assume say a bit more breme customers are just cut to the tune of 20 million. It will be to say customers are back on 5 million. BBA until you have very little control over your income or on your revenue, but the all control most also our cost. And it's applying to our personal lifestyle. We have very little control over the income that is coming in. Our salary, fine. And it's a no. And no kind of nyame and a send me say. Do you have very little control over the income, but the control also more a cost. So you really look at your spending pattern, how you spent over the past year. Of course, no matter to toy anything. Now she say, so that not daughter work, and she say, me make it at a minimum $100,000 a year. 6 years, now I make it 600,000. But over here, account to maybe at 2,000 grand.
Sure.
It's a hurry, you have to go back and look at your spending pattern. And then when I'm to toy, then I'm hey, Ricky, we have to do a restaurant 3 times. Hey, they be some point of Macy's, they be some point of Sephora, they be some point of Espresso Makoto, suit Makoto Tare. Hey, they be some no, I'm missing something there. No one say now I share no more changes how you bit more like then is where you have to start differentiating between your needs and your wants. And I believe that's something. You realize that saving your suits bear me and Sakura for about 6 months to even a year, 6 months to 8 months, it should be okay. So now who's handle money, it will help you control your expenses. Our costs in a lot of control. So you realize it's control your cost no more. our net income a bit more saving about cost more because we have very little control of our income and I say our expenses. The other things when I say now you can maybe a normal a buy account, a fire account tomorrow, the need to check our bank account. In fact, it's very important to be doing that. Me, no, I've always said, me a finance person, but now me very frequently. Me finance, and I think that I've said this over and over. And no, me never reading was it me? I'm a natural accountant. That's what my wife told me. So what also a natural accountant. And I said, I agree because my son be free ho. Now the most free ho say they be as over there. What check your account? I'm saying, hey, and it's something very good because maybe because they are very busy, but I try to do it at the minimum, maybe weekly. Now, if you are na be a bibia from now okra onkai now why researcher kokai say we say now for the worldfully comfortable. If you also tool na bibia e o na ye sa no I will say all report to the bank immediately na your card and as one back cancel abroad flow say it's a very good part to be checking those things. On top of that, there are some emails they may appear as junk, but also didn't pay attention to it. Recently, me move from where I lived. Now me catch almost a water company. I told them that I'm leaving. And my last day TSA, into almost stop my service on that day, me ma call online. I could share my last bill I we. I be me also email your balance is past due. And I'm saying, hey, balance where they past due. Me go ko BMA. I balance past due. Into what I make me checking my account. I'm saying, Matua me final bill na day baby you. Into what I me far from when I make catch up. Say no more acknowledge. Oh yeah, mistake. Now I wasn't here stop on these days. Now mistake until there. You best stop on now. You clear balance. And yeah, a bit of a dialogue on how much almost say, how much I know we will quite a bill natural almost say, I've paid all my bill for the unit. Right. I don't really have to pay anything anymore. One thing is me ignores her email now. That's an anchor pass, you know, commodity balance a penalty to society. Yeah. Yeah, it's about 9 get them collection. I'm saying, already a day by one, maybe I'm too late.
Yeah.
Let's not ignore some emails and let's not ignore things that run through our accounts are very sure of. All right,
all right, Penny Isaac, say yet here for Safina, what joining baby, we'll share free beer either YouTube or Facebook, and as a modern Ghana, Yamawa Kwaba to enumerate your financial, your Jumadia, your say. Would be yeah, I feel I shall say a building at home. Into would be near maybe or we a lot of information which may apply to not just you but we're bushing for you no next time so no to suffer wunya bi wodofo bi na omuhina no emra na yehina no yen sua bibi emfa yesikasem ho question ba ko aba and so do we necessarily have to see a financial expert to do the checkup or we can do it ourselves? A question Abba from one of sister Abena from Poma beside the question. No, yeah, can financial checkup. Yeah, can some of these things that we need to review. No, the question is, do I need to see an expert, or this is something that I can take care of it myself?
Sister Abena, thank you for the question. And as far as seeing a financial expert, you know, to do a financial checkup, it's not necessary. You know, you can check your own bank statements, right? You can check your own account statements or bill statements to go through them yourself and find out, you know, what you're missing, what interest rates you're paying, if everything looks okay in your account. You only seek an expert advice if you are stuck and maybe you come across something that maybe you need some advice on. But as far as doing a checkup, you can do that, on your own. Actually, it's more cost effective to do on your own, right? To be able to just make the time and do it. And you can also do it as consistently as you want or as often as you want. You can do once a week, you could do once a day, you could do once a month, so you don't have to go bother or reach out to a financial advisor for those services. You can do it yourself. And I recommend and I advise that, you get accustomed to doing it yourself because it's going to help you quite a bit.
Right. Yeah, Penny, Dr. Ware, that's a powerful clarification. Yeah. The yes, and you say discussion, it's about Yankasa, some of the things we can do for ourselves. To say Penny Isaac can so every day be a me point, you man, me call Macy's financial expert into me, I'm wame. This is me Yankasa me who said no. Me sika need these expenses here no. Maybe I need to stop eating out 3-4 times your friend is a week in a no. A bebo me message sika our discussion is pretty much Nyoma Yankasano yebetumi take ownership of na boy yen assessing free certain things that we do on a daily basis and as a monthly or quarterly basis we hope to say Dr. Wua response no the buy no ebeboa for this Penny Isaac minim say who be opposite the camera.
Yeah, medase na me person may taking it from a different dimension.
Sure.
I think that the response is very well enough. Very well enough. Not me. I was thinking through it. Someone say, sometimes so be all cry na. Ebia or educated, and I say be or new educated. Maybe or bank account or name even what to read from the bank account. Or name how to analyze, and I say be to figure out things. Though they make money, they are educated, they have all the degrees, but like it I say, we need our time, no, and I say be name even how to start the analysis. And I say be on your educated crowd, and you do bit who be now, as much as one can say no, it could also be helpful, say, and this is just an additional. So one can say is the best, said the Dr. Waka, Now, sometimes a year to so be a financial expert. In the sense, ABA one can say why you be over the years, and so still on your who you yeah. For the first time in everything, I try to seek an expert. For the first time, and ABA to be cost effective, at least as I say, so financial expert be say ABA opani CM opani uamo na say me analyze it of bank statements and other financial statements. Ultimately, time advice so I'm one a bigger picture of how your finances are. Number busa very relevant questions, very important questions. Not much how a BCR structure of finances. For once, that's how much I do $500 krana. That's the free was a once uncle you krana. One year the foundation for life. A free honor, one year guidance be a free one casabit me I idea. And the meme kind of found while course go do a charge PhD 5 and then found at least for the first time go and see a financial expert because there's a reason why people are experts in their fields. So yeah, like what Google I am but so sorry we was I out to the idea oh, that is life. That is life. And there are no more Mediana me tower commencer for the first time. So just last week here, not me faucet, me kitchen faucet, not I say a rough. But I'm trying to say that leakage be out through the pipes. And I'm afraid plumber or buy like the kind of ball or I phone so kakraka and or buy and or say and no mommy try picture of the forces in the channel and not be buy and no ban or say and not so ball kakraka just a very simple review all free honor now me almost $230 just the way and I need by 15 minutes right you say there only oh yeah na me oh yeah na me oh yeah na me because oh expert into we na who's a big deal be and I'm 2 come out next time no me am try say me am my dey and for the first time ne dey it's good because there's a reason why people are experts in their fields. Go and see them for the first time. Then you have solid foundation at least to build on going forward.
Paniazik, yada wasi bebre. I'm say yeah, nkomodie no. Yeah, so interesting. Yet here for if na wo journey yama wakwaba. Yenim say mpenimfo nimdi a omo share with us no. Wo fa bibi afrim na obe apply to your friend saying or life and so. One question be sometimes you know so eba no and say one of the areas in it like your insurance on say car insurance, yeah, life insurance, need those kind of neomani no. The question I be say those neomano, is it even necessary for us to even review it? For example, like your car insurance, just to be specific, you know, is it necessary, say, Afibi and I say every 6 months, I need to review it and make changes, and I say feel say everything is okay.
Yeah, I mean, just like you do a checkup on your finances, the insurance is also part of your finances. Your car insurance, home insurance, health insurance, life insurance, car insurance, all those different things are part of the whole picture, right? Because at the end of the day, if you can pay less for the same coverage, right, for the same quality or better, then it makes sense to pay less, right? Because the less you pay, the more money you can have back in your pocket to save for other uses, right? So what I realize a lot of times, you know, people are very stagnant. You know, they get a car insurance and they just let it go. It's the same insurance for many, many years. They don't hear from the advisor, or they don't hear from their agent. So they just sit around and let it go, right? A lot of times insurance companies are notorious, right, for, you know, increasing coverages, increasing premiums, you know, over time, right? And, you know, you're not known, just continue to pay the increase, pay the increase, pay the increase. But if you were to call and shop your car insurance around, you might see that, oh, this company here is offering me less cost for the same quality or even better quality of product. So I think, you know, when we talk about checkup, you want to do that in anywhere or any area of your life where it's costing you money or where you're spending money. You want to do that checkup to make sure that you are being as cost effective as possible and you are doing the very best thing with your money. So
thank you so much, Dr. Wa. Penny Isaac, what's your take on your finance? Like the basic your car insurance near there, no? Is this something every year be sanya you share your sick seminar so na say oh it's not a big deal.
And no one Dr. Waka. It is on say the ten is a very important say made makase be at the minimum 6 months be or even less. For insurance company, no more say, oh, now no, maybe this my condition, maybe for this long millennia ticket. Say, and me risk no form. It was me insurance over form. Sometimes I don't make so because you be surprised when you shop around that. Sometimes there are other insurance companies are they able to give you a better deal. So, and the insurance companies, while they're not warm in chances, they know it. So when you try and do that, you're able to get some discounts. Pretty much, the Dr. Waka and by a very important, try to say you communicate intermittently, and as I say, or what I say, yeah, shop around just to see this. It is it. The vast be also to $100 a baby. That's why baby. That's some budget 70. Just call your insurance company if they can match it for the same deal. Fair enough. So won't match here. Now what for you? But you realize that in most cases, you know, they were willing to match it. And yeah.
Yes, thank you so much for the updates. No, sir, one of the things that when it comes into car insurance and I mentioned also we go through like life changes. There are certain things to be aware. Maybe happen now. For example, some insurance companies will give you a discount if you have like a credit union account. A be 6 months ago, me yes, I car insurance no na me credit union account. But now no me yes I be. Ain't like in penny for can in fact say me personally every 6 months I do this. And they be my wife for so now then how? Because every 6 months we're pretty much me changing insurance companies. Because like even if it's $10 difference, trust me, I'm gone. And the rest, it's up to them. I'm gonna be paperwork IBB, I don't lose anything. I don't go through any ABN because Nioma Bebirewa, I have competition among the insurance companies. And one year, sometimes you think you have this coverage, but it be wouldn't. Until reviewing it, it helps you to say, your friend is saying, who issue way. Quite remember just quite recently, your friend is yeah windshield about and crack a bemo, and I called on say for replacement idea, and insurance one kind say, oh, well coverage your friend said one replacement for free for every year. I didn't even know that, but never made so. And panso almost schedule na replacing mommy. I didn't pay a penny. But this is a service that I had that I didn't even know. You was but we don't even know. But reviewing it, I was able to find out, oh, I have this. The next time I make another company, me bisa almost said, do you have this? Or more come say, yeah, okay, and they sign me up near the and you may impairing for your better for the time where my your friend say when you mind na my all this information near there you time na just say obia no at least your closing statement to your tier for your friend is more than mine na ya wrap it up with and you there
was for I can't remember many we are on top of the yeah, hopefully much apply to my life now it's my boy. Because throughout the year, you maybe bring him more information, no I'm not taking much to me
Thank you so much, Dr. Wa. Yes, Penny Isaac.
Yeah, just one example being I think they made it not all panel recently. I think a few years ago, now your insurance company, been an insurance company no very good, but at some point, there's a shop around here, and we're able to get a very good deal with a very low cost compared to the near one. Because the near offers in near how AAA subscription, and then we turn every year. But I would say the new one in and I send you a good deal, no more road
assistance can yep.
I don't know a cover AAA the then I said, now when you're talking, say, do you want to cancel triple in the new insurance now? It's very important to be doing so, from time to time. And in Yamen, why? Name me for the year can
Yo, you're penny for your financial doctors, say, and your mray, your cheer for so Yadamwase pa and your mray, Munyada, Jena, Money, yes, Jumadia way. No, yes, Ramo, like Debia, Dano, Yakano. Information, yes, share or no is something, a lot of people pay a lot of money just to get the same information, no. But yen so no I had to say your community service are here to the community to help now you share this valuable information to ye na nti ebi o ha bibi a what then don't just listen to it just like that but tie apply it na hwe babia maybe no baby enko ye no na apply some information no ebeboa just make changes ebi o ha wo de anyame adom you are okay but wunua bi wadamfo bi ewo ehia sa information share with them na omo enye nti yedamo hina ase yempanimfo nso yedamo ase anwumre nti nyame ya adom a next week yebesan ahia biem na yede adwumade na ba nti until say be share next week no nyame enka ye hina ho yedamo ase